Hey everyone, in this exciting episode we are building a cornhole lawn game that's a bit more modern than the typical style. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this build. So I picked up some S2S lumber from my local lumber yard and got straight to work to breaking them down to bite-sized pieces. These aren't regulation sized boards, but I wanted it more compact and wanted to build some modern legs to it, which is why I chose to make that a smaller size. Once I got them cut down to bite-sized pieces, I chewed up the edges of the board so they're ready for glue up. The premise of this game is actually quite enjoyable. It's pretty fun, low-key competitive, and it's a great game to enjoy the outdoors in the summer days. I didn't use any fancy dowel joinery or dominoes. I know it'll hold up awesome just like this. Now this glue up will roughly be 1 inch oversized than the size that I want, but once it's all glued up I can cut it to the exact size that I need. With that gluing up, it's time to rip down the leg pieces. And I just ripped down as many pieces I needed for this. One thing I noticed with maple is that it's extremely hard, so I just take my time with the table saw and just let the saw do the work. Determining the angles for these legs is a bit tricky, but the best solution I've found is always drawing up on SketchUp or any type of computer platform to give you the exact cut angle that you would need. And when I was happy with these cuts, it's time to glue up the pieces together. And I use this neat little trick where I use Type-On wood glue and a little bit of CA glue. The CA glue acts as clamps and the wood glue holds it together nicely long term. Now I don't use this in every situation, but sometimes when you're gluing up weird angles, it helps. You just have to be patient and make sure the CA glue sets nicely. The typical grit climb is pretty standard here, going from 80, 120, 180, and 220. When cutting it to size, I typically take out my track saw, and they are super handy. Kind of one of those tools that I don't understand why I didn't pick it up sooner. But anyways, for the front and back, I cut them at angles to match the angles of the legs. This gives a seamless transition on the front and back of the platform and made it look more seamless. Now I've invested in a 150 CNC machine and I use it any chance I get, but you could easily make your own router jig to cut circles out, or even a jigsaw to cut out the circle as well. I sanded up the legs separately as much as I can and then glued it to the platform. I really like this leg style. It gives it that modern look. It looks good outdoors, it even looks good indoors, and just looks different from your typical cornhole board. I took the hand plane out just to clean it up a little bit more, and I used a very thin ebony stain for this project. I actually built this for a client, and we decided on matching it to the inside of their home. I'm sure in winter they'll be tossing some bags inside, and this will go well with their decor. I decided on using a satin lacquer finish, and I sprayed it outdoors. And don't worry, I had proper PPE on. But I really liked how the lacquer finished the piece. I also know that this piece will be well taken care of, so I didn't have to worry too much about it being weather resistant. For my last coats, I typically run some type of brown paper or paper. I find that this helps take off the burrs without scratching the surface. And I added rubber feet for when they do use it indoors, it protects the floors. And just like that, we have two modern cornhole boards. You can tell I'm not a seasoned player by these terrible throws. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. We do really appreciate each and every one of you. If you haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button. And we'll see you in the next one.